start getting louder after you-know-who admitted he did talk with Ukrainian President Zelensky about Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Take a look.
We had a great conversation. The conversation I had was largely congratulatory, was largely corruption, all of the corruption taking place, was largely the fact that we don't want our people, like Vice President Biden and his son, creating to the corruption already in the Ukraine. In Ukraine, Ukraine's got a lot of problems. The new president is saying that he's going to be able to rid the country of corruption, and I said that would be a great thing.
What? Babble, babble, babble.
You need boots sometimes when he's talking, because it's just, I don't know what he just said, but thank goodness.
He doesn't either.
Yeah.
No, thank goodness Jon Karl is here. Because... afterwards, I'll give all of, you're the head of this, the head of it. But what just happened?
Well,
what did he do?
That was an extraordinary clip, because what you have the President of the United States acknowledging that in a phone call he had with the President of Ukraine, that he talked about his potential 2020 rival, Joe Biden. So that in and of itself, that's what he himself appears to have said rather directly in that conversation. The other thing that is important is the context, which is at the time of that call, the United States, the Trump administration, was withholding $250 million worth of aid that Congress had already approved intended for Ukraine. So we don't know. Was he pressuring? Was he suggesting it? We don't know any of that.
8 times.
But according to the Wall Street Journal says that in that conversation on 8 separate occasions, he urged the president of Ukraine to investigate Biden and his son,
Wasn't
Hunter.
it 8 times in the same conversation?
Same conversation, yes.
That's what you meant, yeah.
Well, this is what the person who has been sort of called the whistleblower, who no one knows who it is, or I didn't know who it is.
Nobody
knows. Said, I have to tell somebody about this. This is insanity. And so he went and said, hey, he's doing some strange stuff over here. And they said, that's okay, don't worry about it.
Well, it was a strange thing because so the whistleblower, who all we know about the whistleblower is somebody who works in the intelligence community.
Okay.
So the whistleblower raised the alarm to the Inspector General, the Director of National Intelligence.
Okay.
And the Director of National Intelligence, passed this on, said that it's his duty by law to pass on such complaints to Congress, to notify Congress. But the acting Director of National Intelligence said, well, not necessarily here, because it doesn't do with the intelligence community. The complaint was about somebody else. In other words, it was about the president.
Someone in the executive branch, as opposed to the intelligence
as opposed to somebody working in
So what do you make of that? It's kind of like passing the buck around?
Well, we have a big showdown now, because as you saw, Nancy Pelosi is saying that the administration has until Thursday. That's when the acting director of the DNI goes before Congress. They have till Thursday to turn that complaint over to Congress. And if not, she is saying we have a whole new phase of the investigation.
What about the transcript of the conversation?
That's what they're asking to be turned over to Congress. The question is, Nancy Pelosi is going to have to make that decision if it's not turned over, right?
Well,
she has to decide what to do.
Not only the transcript, but the whistleblower complaints as well.
Yeah, so you have two separate things. Nancy Pelosi is demanding the whistleblower complaint, which by statute, she is saying they absolutely have to, by law, turn over.
Because the statute says shall.
Yes, there's no law that he has to turn over the transcript. The transcript, they can argue, is executive privilege, private conversation with a. But I'll tell you, I mean, what I'm getting told just this morning, the White House is. There are people on the president's team that are urging him to release that transcript.
Really?
They say because they look so bad by blocking this report, it seems like they are hiding something, and they're saying, well, what he said isn't that bad.